Welcome to Red Eye. Hello, everyone. I'm Tom Shillue. Let's check in with TV's Andy Levy over at the Red Eye News Deck. Hey, Andy.
$248 million, Tom.
What's that, Andy?
That's how many American dollars the new Star Wars movie made over the weekend.
Oh, that sounds like a lot.
New record, Tom.
Wow, that is a big story.
Yeah, sure is. Can't wait to hear the panel discuss it.
Oh, we're not talking about that, Andy.
Yeah, makes sense.
Let's welcome our guests. When she was young, she used to dream of becoming a sad cat lady. Dreams do come true. Reporter for the National Review and Fox News contributor Katherine Timpf. Now that you've seen him, be sure you say something. Comedian and terrorist doppelganger, Anthony DeVito. Her hobbies include beta testing the latest tech and not booking Andy on podcasts. Tech expert and host of the podcast, Katie Linendoll Show. Katie Linendoll. And he hosts a radio show about professional wrestling. So ladies, I'm guessing he's single. Sitting right next to me, comedian Sam Roberts. Okay, let's start the show. It's the beauty pageant story everyone's talking about. Miss Puerto Rico has been suspended from the Miss America contest after ripping Michael Moore on Twitter. Destiny Velez, she's on the left, slammed the liberal filmmaker for his We Are All Muslims campaign, an apparent response to Donald Trump's rhetoric of late. Last week, Moore protested outside Trump Tower, prompting Velez's tirade. The 20-year-old beauty tweeted at him, "Michael Moore, hold a sign that says we are all believers in Christ. Why are you defending Muslims that haven't done nothing for the USA? All they do is build their mosques, feel offended by American values, and terrorize innocent Americans, and plant gas stations. And get guns and kills innocent people and destroy precious artifacts. And finally, Muslims cover their women, so I don't think they worship pageants." I thought that last one burned the most, right, Katie? They don't worship pageants, do they? In Islam?
Do we need to give Destiny like a PSA on how to use social media? What was she thinking? And what I thought was interesting, you remember that girl in the one pageant in South Carolina that used all the proper buzzwords? Like maps, Africa,
such
books,
as?
Such as, like.
Oh, that's right.
This is the complete opposite of that. She used all the wrong buzzwords.
All the wrong buzzwords, and she actually was trying to make a point, whereas the woman from South Carolina didn't seem to be making any point whatsoever, right?
You're in the public spotlight. You're living under a microscope. Come on. Be a little smarter here.
It does, I mean, Sam, she has posted videos previously about multiculturalism and we're all a big melting pot. I don't know what happened here. She just kind of, I think she had a couple of cocktails.
Yep.
Well, you know what they say.
Yeah.
Gas stations are planted. They don't grow on trees.
It's so true. They're always planting those gas stations.
Yeah, all over the place. I think that they should just suspend all beauty pageant contestants from Twitter and just avoid all of this altogether.
Yes.
No beauty pageant contestant has ever been there because of her political discourse.
It's true.
You know?
But they're supposed to be up on modern events, and the main thing
But
is...
are they supposed to be?
Yeah, I mean, they always have to answer questions.
But do they?
It's hard to answer questions.
I mean, Kat, you know, they fire questions at them in the lightning round, and they have to talk about. They always have to talk about multicultural and being. You know, the thing was, she said that she is anti-bullying, and she's sorry. She apologized because she felt she was bullying Michael Moore.
Okay, I just don't understand. You know you look bad when you post stuff like that. So why would you go through all that work to sound nice, to sound pretty, to eat only healthy food or not eat or whatever, exercise? I don't know what you have to do to be a pageant queen, to get people to like you, and then go out and do something that's gonna make everyone hate you. She must have been drunk. The only move she can make from here is to say, I was drunk, I have a problem, and then go to rehab.
But she's 20.
And then become a hero for, look, I know it's really hard to drink before you're 21, but I have heard that people have done it.
Look, I don't really understand why there's so many pageants. We had Miss Universe, obviously, the Miss America, but she's not even really Puerto Rico's not a state, is it, Anthony?
I don't know. I don't really know.
You don't know
What is
how
it,
it
a
works?
Commonwealth?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the
okay.
thing is,
That's
Puerto
something.
Rico, you would think those people would be pro-immigration, right? It seems like
Sure.
this would be coming out of Miss Texas or something. I was surprised it was Miss Puerto Rico.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think she probably didn't know she couldn't say that. She's too hot. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, she said that a bunch, and probably there's just guys that want to get laid have never stopped her at a bar. Do you know what I mean? She's there, and she's like, I hate Muslims. And they're like, yeah, you're hot. Me too.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You're right. You never question a pretty girl, do you?
Yeah, exactly.
No matter what they say.
Yeah.
It's true. So
you
she
just
doesn't have
stay
that
on
barometer.
course. What'd you
That's the
say?
problem, Kat.
Yeah.
She doesn't know when what she's saying is foolish.
She
So
also can't spell.
it's true.
And a lot of people have told her she's smart. Oh my, you're so smart too.
Yes.
Like a lot of people just think you're pretty, but I see that you're smart.
Yes.
Yeah. You've got great views.
Listen,
Yeah.
I mean, if she has strong opinions, maybe she's gonna, maybe this will start her off on a new path.
Hold
We'll
on.
see.
So wait,
And
we're
Ann-
saying if she's good looking, she can't be. She's dumb.
Exactly.
No.
Anthony made a good point. Katie,
No.
she.
I'm trying to keep up.
It's hard.
And I
if-
felt really passionate, like I
Listen.
needed to step in here
Yeah,
for all
no.
women.
It's hard for these pageant girls because every time she says something silly, nobody calls her on it because they're trying to hit on her.
I'm blaming dumb guys.
Listen, I'm
There you
very
go.
Okay, now
You know what I mean?
as
He's a
long as some
feminist.
guys are
I'm
right.
very beautiful, and I have the same problem. And I don't know.
Cat
I don't know
gets
what
it.
I'm gonna do in like the 20 years after I'm not hot anymore, and like before I'm like a decrepit old woman, and no one will tell me anything I'm saying is wrong because I'm a decrepit old woman.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to like learn societal rules for like 20 years.
Yeah, there'll be a window, but you'll learn.
Or
once-
maybe surgery, lots of Botox.
That'll do it. Okay, look, we're going to get to some other beauty pageant news. Steve Harvey announced the wrong Miss Universe winner. Look.
Colombia! I have to apologize. The first runner-up is Colombia. Miss Universe 2015 is Philippines.
Harvey later apologized on Twitter, but he misspelled Philippines and Colombia. I mean, that spelling looks close enough to me on Colombia. The huge gaffe made me wonder, would this have happened on Trump's watch? Trump tweeted, very sad what happened last night at the Miss Universe pageant. I sold it 6 months ago for a record price. This would never have happened. Wow. Do you think, what would Trump have done to prevent Steve Harvey from making that mistake?
He doesn't have to know. It was a conspiracy. Trump did it so he could make that tweet, so he could say that. Now Steve Harvey's dreams and goals of taking over for Maury are done. Can't have him reading paternity test answers. Can't have that.
Look.
Could you imagine? That'd be way worse.
It would.
You're not the father. Oh, wait, you are. Actually, I want him to take over for Maury. That'd be very interesting.
Look, this is working out for the pageant because it's getting more attention than ever. You know, we never get to talk about the pageant the next day, but now it's all
Sure.
over the news, right? Not bad, right, Anthony?
Yeah. Great move.
I didn't know there was a pageant.
Exactly. Now you do.
I didn't know there was
Thank
a Steve
God.
Harvey. I didn't know he existed.
Steve Harvey, look, he is getting all sorts of flack, Katie, but I feel bad for him because I always mix up. I don't know what first runner-up means. When they say, and the first runner-up, I'm thinking, is that second or third? I don't know what first runner-up means.
I know Sam's going to be on the same page as me. He had one job, Tom. He had one job.
Just read the card.
Read the card. It's right there for you. I don't feel bad.
It's-
But you know what actually I thought was even more uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Is that like nobody stepped in at that moment. Like the whole globe was feeling awkward and like just step in there and give everybody a crown.
Yeah, 'cause
Let's
all
just
the
make
judges
the
do.
situation right and be hospitable about it.
They could have got on the PA system and said, excuse me, Steve Harvey's wrong, everybody stop. But they didn't do it.
No.
They
No.
waited, and then they let Steve figure it out. Look, here's why. I'm going to set you straight here, okay? He has the card. There's two ladies right there, and he's got one name on it. Yeah, it said first runner-up, but it had the one lady's name. So that's what always confuses me, too.
You
Which one are they going to
practiced.
say?
He wasn't-
Are they going to say the winner or the
One
loser?
job.
He wasn't well prepared. First of all, when he finally did it right, he called the woman Philippine. He said the winner is Philippine. He did. That's what he said. He said the winner is Philippine.
Yeah, her husband's Philip. She's Philippine, right?
Yeah. No. It said on the card, somebody did a screen grab of the card. It said first runner-up, Colombia, winner, Philippines. All the information was on the card.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I see you asked the questions. They're on the cards. perfect every time.
Yeah, but I don't ask them. I don't
got
ask
it.
what
I got
write.
it.
I write down questions, but then I never ask them.
Him and Miss
No.
Puerto Rico should go to rehab together and make it into a reality show.
That sounds great.
I solved everything. I'm going to go into PR.
Here's my questions. Katie, I think it added much needed drama to the event, don't you? That's not a very good question, is
It's
it?
terrible.
So I ignored it and I asked my own question.
You were way better than that card. Steve Harvey is worse than the card, though. That's
Steve
the
Harvey,
problem.
way worse.
You have
Yes.
to hire somebody
Way
who's better
worse.
than the card.
He's
Like,
good
you
at
know.
winging it. That's why they get Steve Harvey, because he doesn't
terrible
go
at winging
He
it.
wings it on. Do you ever watch Family Feud?
No.
He's a laugh riot.
Nobody watches Family Feud,
No one
Tom.
watches
I've
Family
seen it.
Feud.
I watch it.
Yeah.
No one watches it.
Oh, it's good.
He's
He does one thing on Family
He's
Feud.
not funny.
He creates.
It's not funny.
The only reason Family Feud exists is so they can put Steve Harvey in the awkward position that a contestant says penis and he acts like somebody needs to go to church.
Yeah, he does that slow burn.
That's all
Look,
he
I do it.
does.
Say penis, right?
Penis.
I would never say that.
Whoa.
You know, he does takes. He's great at the takes.
I'm loving it.
Exactly
That's a
that.
YouTube moment.
He crushed it.
Okay, next story. Students at Oberlin College claim that some of the cafeteria food is insensitive and culturally inappropriate. They've taken their concerns to the school newspaper and they demanded to speak to the school president. For instance, a Vietnamese student complained that his banh mi, I think that's how you pronounce it, sandwich was served with coleslaw instead of pickled vegetables as it is back home, as you know. He said, quote, "It was ridiculous." A Chinese student griped in the school newspaper that the General Tso's chicken wasn't authentic because it was steamed, not fried, as the general prefers. And a junior from Japan reported that the undercooked rice lack of fresh fish in the school's sushi doesn't just taste bad, it's disrespectful. She explained, when you're cooking a country's dish for other people, you're also representing the meaning of that dish as well as its culture. So if people not from that heritage take food, modify it, and serve it as authentic, it is appropriative. And that is inappropriate, is it not, Kat?
I hate these kids, Tom.
I'm
I
with
hate
you.
these kids.
I'm so with you on
Well,
this.
okay, first of all, it's obviously ridiculous. If you're getting offended by food, you have no problems ever in your life. So just be grateful for that. Second of all, you know General Tso's chicken is an American thing?
Yeah.
That started in the United States. So not
That's
only
not
are they
authentic.
ridiculous, they're all so stupid. And if there's one thing I hate more than ridiculous, it's ridiculous and stupid. If you're paying $50,000 a year to go to this fancy school and the sushi rice is dry, if you feel personally victimized by sushi, you should just go home. Go home.
But I mean, come on. Sam, that's a little harsh. And
No, it
maybe,
isn't.
can I clarify? General Tso, was he American military, or did they some American
an
name it
American
after?
He was Chinese military, but that has nothing to do with the fact that Chinese American food is not authentic to Chinese food.
Then why
What
did
is
we name it
supposed to
General
eat?
Tso's?
Maybe they have a point, though. Maybe they should make it authentic. They have enough Asian students there. Maybe it is insensitive.
I don't know if it's insensitive because it's still more authentic than like your local Chinese buffet. But I don't understand. I think the main problem is like we've lost. There's a thing called cafeteria food.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, this is gross. It's like cafeteria food. And they're in a cafeteria eating cafeteria food. It's not supposed to be authentic. It's supposed to be cafeteria food.
That's right. You're in college.
Yes.
You're supposed to complain about the food, right, Anthony?
Yeah, I agree with Sam's point. Well put.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Anthony.
I had hot dogs and Lucky Charms every day, and I loved every second of it.
That's not
right.
authentic Irish.
That's vile.
Whatever.
Well,
It's
let me
great.
tell you something, too. May I chime in here because I feel very passionate about this topic?
Yes.
795 million people in the world do not have enough food. 21,000 people every
Yeah, well,
single
they're
day
lucky 'cause they're
die
not
because
being
they're
racist.
hungry. These people need to grow up. They should be happy there's food on the table.
Are
Yeah,
you
but how
saying
many
these
of-
students suffer from privilege?
Precisely.
Did you have the cereal in there, Anthony, every day, and you put your bowl under that thing,
Yeah.
and it would come sliding out
Yes.
into your bowl?
Yep. And the
Wouldn't that
milk
be great?
machine. What a process.
It's really an efficient process. Why don't we have those in our home?
I don't know.
I don't eat cereal because I'm not going to open a box like that.
Yeah, they're big though. They're cumbersome. So to have it in a home, it's a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Does
in a
make
New
sense.
York apartment, it's pretty big. Man.
takes up a lot of space.
I loved my college cafeteria food. Everyone was always complaining, but I thought it was excellent. I looked forward
Yeah.
every day to go. I didn't miss a meal. 3 squares a day at my college.
You get to do it, but you do get to because you're an adult, so nobody can tell you not to have just dessert. I ate so much cake in college.
Yeah.
You did?
Lots of yellow cake.
I ate well. I mean, I was a growing boy at the time, of course. I was running around. But on the topic of cultural,
Where were you running?
I ran back and forth to class. You know, I had my books strapped in a little belt over my shoulders.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
Look, on the subject of cultural insensitivity, I mean, it is college, right? They're there to learn about different cultures. Maybe they should take a note from these
Then
people.
don't eat. Fine, losers. Shut up. I'm so sick of people who don't have problems whining about problems. So, like, the words are all offensive, so we can't talk, and now we're not allowed to eat? What do they want us to do?
It's Oberlin. Come on.
Yeah,
this is a
but
very liberal arts school.
there's
It's where Lena Dunham went to school.
Who's Lena Dunham?
Lena Dunham, famous television actress. You guys are not hip at all. Okay, coming up, Obama is blaming the media again. Sounds like he needs a moment with Tom. My take, next. Remember No Drama Obama? That was the president's early marketing strategy. He'd treat every problem with his patented aloof, above-the-fray demeanor, and the media largely played along. Nearing the end of his presidency, Obama has tried to rebrand himself a passionate fighter. This summer, Politico declared Mr. Cool has left the building. They like the new feisty Obama. They always love his personas. In an interview on NPR this weekend, Steve Inskeep asked why the public doesn't trust him on ISIS, and Mr. President tried to resurrect Mr. No Drama. He said the Paris attacks led to, quote, a saturation of news coverage about the attack, and
if you've been watching television for the last month, all you've been seeing, all you've been hearing about is these guys with masks or black flags who are potentially coming to get you.
Coming to get you. And the media, he said they're just pursuing ratings. The ignore it and it didn't happen approach to terrorist attacks worked for a while. Fort Hood, it's a work dispute. Benghazi, that's a YouTube video. But after Paris and then San Bernardino, it's been hard for the media to not do their jobs. And that kind of annoys the president. Maybe he should change personas again. That might be too dramatic. Kat, what do you think? Is No Drama Obama back for good?
He doesn't want to have to do anything, so he just tries to say that it's someone else's fault, like always. But this time he's right. It is the media. It's 100% the media's fault, making ISIS a big deal. It's my fault, personally. I'll take full responsibility.
You have been building them up?
People are only scared of ISIS, not because ISIS is murdering people, but because of me. No, right? This is ridiculous. It's insane. What he's saying is, oh, you know, it's not my foreign policy that's failing. It's the media that's just giving it a bad brand. So they're gonna, and he talks about it in such a flippant way, which is what disgusts people. Not just his policies, but like, oh, they're gonna come get you. Well, like, yeah, some people just died of that, actually. So maybe be a little bit more respectful, dude.
Isn't that true? It's condescending, that little bit of, you know, oh, you think they're, you know, the bad guys are going to come and get you with their flags. I mean, it's true. People just died in the attack. It seems dismissive of their fears.
It is. I mean, if anything, it is drama Obama, because he's finding somebody to blame, so he's creating a fight. He's making people feel bad who might be scared. That's drama. Obama's like, he's become such a professional at, instead of coming up with a solution, finding a new problem and finding somebody else to blame for it. He's like, so what are you doing about terrorists? Well, the problem is the media is making us all afraid of terrorists. All right, but we didn't address the first part ever. No solutions.
Maybe the solution is, I'm going to try to defend Obama. Do you want to say something nice about Obama? Maybe he's trying to calm our fears by being the no drama Obama.
Yeah.
What do you think, Anthony?
I guess. I don't know. Yeah, ISIS, I don't know. They seem pretty bad. You know, I don't know. They're doing a lot of terrible stuff. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the media is causing all that. You know, I think Obama, you know, seems like a good guy and stuff like that. But yeah, this one, you know, yeah, ISIS is doing it, not the media.
Have we
Hot take.
Tough stance. Hot take, DeVito.
I mean, look, that's what you got to call him as you see him, right?
You got to.
Katie, back in the Bush days, a lot of people didn't like that we were
Pretty bad.
that we were on alert all the time. You know, we had the blue, we had the green, we were all warning, and they welcomed a new era when Obama came in and said, we're not going to worry about it, we're just going to pretend it's not there. So has he improved upon the old Bush method or what?
I think we're all on the same page here. This laissez-faire attitude about, with ISIS, and you can't undervalue war crimes and ethnic cleansing and beheadings. This is a serious issue to be taking so lightly. And I think we can all agree it's just not the right attitude or the right approach.
Why are we all agreeing? I need some disagreement.
Sorry, dude.
Oh, ISIS schmeisis.
Yeah, he's being
Basically,
great.
isn't he saying we have it handled? He said further on in that interview, he said, we've been on this. Maybe I haven't communicated as much. So is that the problem, that he hasn't communicated to us all the great things he's doing?
Well, yeah, last time he said ISIS was contained, there was that huge terrorist attack in Paris, and then there was one here. So it's really no one's fault but that people don't like the way he's addressing it, because he's not. Sorry, can't say anything positive.
Listen, I know
I usually do have so many positive things to say, but this issue, I just
I thought somebody here would defend Obama. All right, not bad. Coming up, the only Andy that matters when it comes to the news. No, not Rooney. I'm talking about TV's Andy Levy. Halftime is next. Welcome back. Time to find out what we got wrong and what we missed from TV's Andy Levy at the Red Eye News Deck. Hey, Andy.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Halfway through.
Yeah, almost. Or, yeah, I guess so. Miss Puerto Rico suspended for anti-Muslim tweets. Katie, you asked if we need to give her, you said we need to give her a class on how to use social media. I agree. She should have saved all that stuff for the actual pageant. There's a time and a
Not a
place.
good idea. Even worse.
Yeah, there is a time and a place for this stuff.
And Michael Moore is the judge, so.
No, he's not. Sam, you said they should just suspend all beauty pageant contestants from Twitter.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember it's not all contestants.
Yeah. Good point, Andy.
You're right. I just don't know if anything good is
Thank you.
coming out.
Kat, you said the only move she can make is to say she was drunk and go to rehab.
the best move, yeah.
I'm thinking it was pills.
I thought so too, maybe like a wine Zanny combo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Could be an Ambien sitch. We don't know.
Oh, yeah.
People are too quick to blame alcohol for things
That's
these
true.
days.
Pharmaceuticals.
She's only 20. I don't think she can drink.
But she can get pills.
They give Xanax to babies now.
I rest my case. Tom, you are correct in saying that Puerto Rico is not a state. You seemed a little unsure, so I just...
Yeah, I know
get
there's
that out there.
50.
Yeah, okay. All right. It is a commonwealth, by the way, but I think the important point is that it's a territory of the United States.
Yeah, so weird Commonwealth. I never understood what a Commonwealth was.
You grew
the
up in a
of
commonwealth.
Massachusetts.
You grew up in a commonwealth.
Yeah, but it's also a state, right? Massachusetts.
No, it's
I'm
a
pretty sure
commonwealth,
of that.
Tom.
So weird.
Huge difference. Steve Harvey names the wrong woman the winner of Miss America. Kat, you said the whole thing was a conspiracy by Trump. I did see some people online floating the idea that it was a conspiracy, not by Trump, but by the pageant itself to get coverage.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was happening, so the conspiracy worked on me in that case.
Yeah, I
and
think
I'm
so.
always looking out for him.
Tom, you said you don't know what first runner-up means.
Yeah.
It means coming in second.
But it's when then say second. I don't like first runner-up.
Just say runner-up.
I never understood on deck. Shillue, you're on deck. I'm like, well, I'm up next, or what? What does it mean?
I mean, it means you're up next.
I mean, see, it's
In the hole.
confusing, Andy.
Again, you ever watch a baseball game, Tom?
It's just there's on deck, and then there's the
In the
second
hole.
on deck. There was always a lot of circles.
On double deck, we used to say.
Yeah, double deck. I mean, come
That's
on.
made up, as opposed to on deck, which is a very real thing. Oberlin students upset at the cafeteria. Sam, you said there's a thing called cafeteria food. It's not supposed to be authentic.
Right.
Which, yeah, there was a sophomore quoted in the Oberlin paper. No one seems to be using her. But I think she has it right. She says the dining services food selections are, she calls it cultural collision, not cultural appropriation. She says she thinks they're just inspired by Asian cuisine and made dishes with the available ingredients, which sounds like a college cafeteria.
It's like cafeteria cultural fusion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I will say that there was one complaint. An Indian student said that they put beef in the tandoori. That seems like a valid complaint, considering that you're not supposed to eat beef if you're Hindu.
All right.
Yeah.
That's valid.
I think we can give them that one.
Don't eat the cafeteria tandoori.
Yeah. I have to say, though, the students sound exactly like I do when I get pizza in Los Angeles. So I don't know, kind of with them on that. Obama blames the media for Americans being afraid of ISIS. Tom, I enjoyed your ailment of the day, or whatever it's called.
Moment with Tom?
Ailment of the day.
Is it moment with... Oh, okay. Sorry.
Shingles?
Yeah.
They just keep running those commercials. Don't you feel like you have something new every day?
I do have something new every day.
This one this week is mesothelioma. I heard that 50 times. What is that? I don't know.
It's worse than shingles.
Yeah,
All right.
I can tell you after the show. Sam, you said Obama has become such a professional at, instead of finding a solution, finding a new problem and blaming it on someone else. And then there was silence. I just wanted to say, I actually thought that was well said.
Thank you very much, Andy. I'm glad somebody did.
Yeah. Anthony, you said ISIS, they seem pretty bad.
And I stand by it.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to get tweets. You know that. Right?
Yeah, bring them on.
All right. I just want you to know what you're in for. Can we agree, though, the president is actually not wrong when he says ISIS is not an existential threat to America? Does anyone disagree with that?
Yeah, but why say it? There's a lot of things that are an existential threat
Yes.
to America, but they need addressing.
I completely agree with that. Yeah. And also, obviously, doesn't mean that, especially in the wake of terrorist attacks, that the media shouldn't be talking about terrorist attacks.
There you go.
Yeah.
But, Andy, you are right. What he said was correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Here is my biggest problem with what the president said. He said, quote, part of my message over the next 14 months is to just make sure that we remember who we are and make sure that our values are maintained. This is pretty rich coming from the guy who wants to circumvent the Second and Fifth Amendments and take away Americans' rights if the government puts them on some kind of list.
There you go, Andy.
And that's my take of the day, Tom.
Nice.
I'm done.
Thank you, Andy. Yep. Time to take a break. More stories when we come back. But first, what is coming up on the next Kennedy? At Saturday's Democratic debate, presidential candidate and noted liar Hillary Clinton showcased her lying skills, claiming that Trump is ISIS's #1 recruiter. Here she is lying like a Persian rug she refuses to call Persian.
He is becoming ISIS's best recruiter. They are going to people showing videos of Donald Trump insulting Islam and Muslims in order to recruit more radical jihadists.
Her fiery pantsuit set off the sprinkler system as fact checkers from New York Times and the Washington Post all agree there is zero evidence that ISIS has used videos of Trump for recruitment. In fact, Red Eye has uncovered video evidence that shows Trump's rhetoric is actually helping to convert jihadists.
I used to be hating America. Then, by the grace of Allah, I'm listening to the words of businessman winning, Mr. Trump. Mr. Businessman Trump speaks the greatness he is thinking and makes my mind change. No longer I am thinking America is the great Satan. Now I am thinking, what can I do to making America great again? This wall of greatness that Mr. Trump is thinking sane about, I will help build it. I am wanting America to being so great, your head will be doing the spinning.
That was illuminating, wasn't it? While ISIS is not using Trump as a recruitment tool, they are using someone connected to Hillary, her husband, President Bill Clinton. The Daily Caller reports that in their most recent recruitment video, the terrorist group shows 3 U.S. presidents as examples of infidels. George W. is labeled a liar, and Hillary's hubby is called a fornicator. I'm not sure what that is in reference to. Sam, what does a fornicator do?
I think it's somebody who has a kid. They make babies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got a daughter. We all know. So I think that's all that is.
That's okay. Those people at ISIS are very intolerant, as we've established. Look, I think that Hillary.
Yeah.
I mean, Trump has called for her to apologize. I think she's going to have to.
She doesn't have to. I think
What?
she was using you're in ISIS recruitment videos as a figure of speech.
Really?
No, she was not.
Wait a minute. Just like Trump was using his video of Muslims celebrating, thousands of them. Was that a figure of speech?
Those are figures of speech. They craft images in your mind, but that's all they're for, really. It's theater.
She did. Well, I don't know if she apologized to Trump, but she did backtrack. She clarified that she doesn't know of any videos with Trump in them, but I guess she thinks they will happen, right, Katie?
Well, she was alluding to the fact that on their social media accounts, that's where she was getting the information from. And I was surprised by this one because if Jeb Bush is taking Trump's side on this one, now I don't know what to believe here.
Jeb Bush is recruiting people for ISIS
No,
too?
no, that's not what I said, Sam. That's not what I said.
it sounded like you're not sure whether you should believe because Jeb can't be trusted as well.
Oh, he's a liar too who recruits for ISIS.
He's just a little.
I don't know your larger point.
You're going
Jeb's
back to
just
the
a sad little kid.
you're twisting my words.
Liars.
No, you're twisting my
He's
words.
against America.
Look, do you think that Hillary was intentional in her lie?
Hillary's camp said that she was just alluding to the fact.
But that's
that
not what she did, though.
It's not what she said.
She
So now I'm
mentioned a
confused.
video. She said they're showing him videos.
I agree with you.
She said that.
Yes.
Not
I'm
a thing.
confused.
If you say a thing that's not a thing, that's called a lie.
There you go. Well, wait a minute. Of all the...
Is that what that is?
Listen, Kat.
It's a lie. I like that one.
Of all the times Hillary has lied about videos, what was worse? This, Benghazi, or the fact that she said Adam Sandler was great in Jack and Jill?
They're all bad, although Adam Sandler was great in Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore. I had the cassette.
But you don't think he was great in Jack and Jill? I mean, he was like
I don't
Tyler
watch
Perry,
movies
the way
like
he
that.
played all those
I don't even know
characters.
what I don't watch movies like that. I don't do that to myself.
Okay.
If Hillary were going to lie, though, don't you think she should have done like just a little bit of research to see who is in ISIS videos? Because not only is her husband featured, but it's references to the fact that he was not faithful to her, which is probably something that she wouldn't want brought back to the surface.
She doesn't care.
I think that's good that ISIS sees something like that. Just because I don't know if they know about that act.
You're walking back
Do you
your
know what I
ISIS
mean?
is bad.
Now ISIS is good.
Yeah, what are you saying? What are you saying?
Hold all the phones. All right. ISIS is still bad, everybody. But if they find out about that act, they might not know about that act. The fornication part.
Yes.
All right?
Yeah.
So if they don't know about that, that could get them off track. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'd be like, hey, maybe let's not bomb a courthouse. Let's work on getting some of those going.
Ah, distract them, right?
Distract them.
There you go. Hey, he's making good points. Okay, next story. Apps that do secretarial work are mostly voiced by women. But is this sexist? In an op-ed in the New York Times, writer Joanne McNeil gripes that personal assistant apps overwhelmingly feature female AI. There's Julie, Amy, Clara, Siri, Cortana, Crystal, Dawn, and Chloe. McNeil calls them Stepford apps. The internet's answer to those old sci-fi robots in dresses mopping floors with manufactured enthusiasm. You know them. She writes that her virtual inbox assistant, Julie, designed to make my work more efficient, only reminds me of the gendered division of labor that I'm trying to escape. What McNeil left out of her piece is that these companies have tried male voices as personal assistants. Look what happened when I asked my digital assistant, Chad, to schedule a meeting.
Tom, can't do it right now. Middle of doing some chesties. Babes and waves, gotta look sweet. Yeah, thanks, Tom. Knew you'd understand.
I did understand. He had to do his chesties, right?
Right.
But look, Katie, you're a techie gal. Do you agree that this is sexist?
I've actually researched this topic quite heavily over the past few years, and I have two sides of it. So I think, one, yes, we are going to females because we know they're going to get the work done. They are the smart ones here, and we know that there's going to be an answer, and they're a lot wiser than men.
Good.
Now, however, historically, where this does stem from, it actually goes back to the in airplanes in World War II. They used to say that women's voices would come through a lot clearer. So nothing has changed. Now, has it changed since World War II? I think we need an update here. But also, a lot of businesses say that women are a lot easier and better to hear than men overall. So there's a history on the combat side and also a history on the tonality.
I like your sexist answer better. I like the first one. Anthony, what do you think? Is it sexist?
No, I think those voices are very soothing. One time I opened for a comedian, I opened for a hypnotist.
Yeah.
And he had a very gruff Italian voice.
Yeah.
So he would be like, you're getting very sleepy. And then nobody fell asleep and nobody was hypnotized. So I think you got to have a soothing voice. You don't want, some guy named Hank or whatever who's just like, yeah, well, I'll give you a banana. Or
Yeah.
if you ask him for a banana, he doesn't just do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, you get the point.
I get your banana, you jerk. Kat, I think it's nice having an assistant. I mean, for me, I would rather have a woman. Would you rather have a guy?
Well, see, I'm a woman. I also have a very masculine voice, so I guess I can see all sides of this. Except, no, I can't, because I'm not going to look, because who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares about this kind of stuff? Come on.
Do you think she has a masculine voice?
It's gruff and gritty, but not masculine.
There you go.
I can't wait to hear how it's going to sound when I'm 90. I'm going to be like, hey, get off my lawn. And I can't wait. I'm going to crush it at 90.
Would you be more comfortable bossing around? Essentially, that's what you're doing with these apps, right?
Right.
You're telling them to do little tasks for you. I kind of like the idea. I like Siri. You can set Siri as a man. Did you know that?
Well, I do, because I do that, because I like the idea of bossing around a man, because it makes me feel more masculine. It's the only time in my life where I can be an alpha male.
Yes.
So I take my Siri and I let the Siri, who's a man, know who's the real man.
It's like being in the military, isn't it?
That's right. I'm the chief.
Chief of the military.
You know your military
That's
terms.
right.
Yeah, great job.
Can you
great
set
job.
it to your own voice?
You can, unless you're a tech wizard. I don't think you can set it to your own
that'd be
voice.
fun. You yell at you the whole time.
Yeah,
It's a good time.
It'd be great.
Just like my inner monologue.
It's like Gollum and Smeagol. It's fantastic. Okay, gotta go. We'll close things out with a bedtime story. He went on a 3-week video game bender that cost him his health, job, and wife. Now a Russian man is reportedly suing the makers of Fallout 4 for $7,000 for failing to warn him that the game would become so addictive. The man claims that had he known how unput-downable the game was, he would have waited till the holidays to buy it or just avoided it altogether. Let's see what makes Fallout 4 so alluring. You can see why the game is so compulsively playable. Anthony, look, only $7,000. This ruined his life. His wife left him.
This is crazy. What do you mean? No, this is nuts. You can't. Yeah, why? Because it didn't have a warning that it's addictive?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I've been using this guy down here for about 20 years, and that's pretty addictive.
You've been using your belt buckle to keep your pants up? I have too. We have something in common.
Yeah.
Listen, Kat, what do you think? Does he have a case?
I think his wife, you are okay. You're going to be okay. Just so you know, you're okay.
Yeah.
His wife did not leave him because of the video game. The wife left him because he's the kind of loser who would blame a video game and not be able to stop playing a video game for his wife leaving him. This guy's the worst.
Wow.
Let's be honest. Come on, a grown man. Well, they didn't tell me how much I was going to love this game, and I played it too much, and she left me, and now I have no job, and it's your fault. I mean,
that is a great Russian accent.
That is a nerd accent, and they all sound the same to me.
Katie, 3 weeks. That's all the wife gave him?
Wow.
She could have given him a month on the console.
Video game addiction is a serious thing.
It is.
But I also think this lends itself into apps, Candy Crush, Alphabeti Saga. Bejeweled. I mean, there's multiple cases of this, but sue for more than $7,000.
Yeah.
Add a couple zeros.
She thinks he has a case.
I don't think he has a case. I think he has a problem that he needs to address personally.
You said that video game addiction is a serious issue that
100%.
requires addressing through the international courts.
It's not.
Through yourself.
But he finished the game, and now he's cured of his video game addiction. 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Just let the wife move out for 3 weeks, and then the wife can move back in, because I'm sure he's a peach otherwise.
Yes.
Aside from Fallout, he's a great, great man. Give the wife $2,000, not $7,000, $2,000.
He has no personal responsibility. I'm addicted to at least 11 things, but I blame them on myself.
You're definitely addicted to that stick. You suck on it during the breaks.
But they told
I
you.
have to.
But they told you you'd be addicted to them. Nobody said Fallout would be so addictive.
Yes.
They should have mentioned how good
Just
their game
put a
was.
warning on the label, okay? Very special thanks to Katherine Timpf, Anthony DeVito, Katie Linendoll, Sam Roberts, and me, Tom Shillue. Yeah, I just thanked myself. See you next time.